Let's learn how to use the Google Sheets app. For this example, we're using iOS on an iPad, but it would work very similar on an Android device. Once you have the Sheets app loaded, go ahead and open Sheets, and you'll need to log into your account. After you've logged into your account, open up a project that you've been working on. For example, if you've been working on learning spreadsheets, open up that project. Or if you don't have a project that you've been working on, you can go ahead and start a new sheet simply by pressing the plus sign in the corner. When you open a project you already have, you can flip through the different pages or sheets along the bottom and see everything that you have in your spreadsheet workbook so far. What we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new sheet, and you can do that if you don't have a sheet available by pressing the plus sign at the lower right hand corner. So here we have a brand new sheet, and what we're going to do with this sheet is we're going to make a scatter chart. And this is going to be about how fast a human grows from 2 years old to 15 years old. So at the top, let's name this human growth chart. And by double tapping in the cell, you'll get the keyboard, the on-screen keyboard to come up. And just underneath that, you can put your first and last name. For example, Bob Lee, or whatever your name actually is. And you can write the date just underneath that. For example, November the 23rd of 2027. Okay, so now that we've got just some basics in there, our chart is going to be a human growth chart. So first we're going to want to, in the first column, always time. And so we're going to have age, and it's a good idea always in the parentheses to put the unit of time, and this is going to be in years. Age in years. Right next to that, we're going to have the height, and again in parentheses in inches. Actually, let's not do inches. Let's do centimeters. Centimeters. An inch is actually 2.54 centimeters, so that's kind of interesting. That's the definition of an inch. Age in years. So let's start by going 2, return, 3, return. Write a formula and just add 1 for each cell. So go ahead and tap in A8, and let's put equal sign, and then tap A7, or type A7, and then press the plus, and then the 1. So you see what it's going to do here is we're going to take the 3, which is in cell A7, and we're going to add 1 to it, which will give us 4. Press return. So now we have a formula, and if you tap on cell A8, you can see the formula there. And we're going to try to copy that down the column. How about holding on that cell? Would that allow us to copy it? Hold our finger down on that. Oh, I saw a copy a second ago. So we got cut, copy, paste, comment, and clear, and note. I'm going to go to copy, and then we're going to try to stretch down and see if that works. Nope. How about if I select a group and I put paste? There it is. So sometimes you just have to look around a little bit, and as luck had it, I happened to get 2 through 15, which is exactly what I wanted. All right, so now let's put the data in. At 2 years old, this human was 87 centimeters. So we're going to flip to the numeric keyboard. Return at 3 years old, 95. Remember, you can pause this and rewind this video anytime you want. 3 years old, 102 centimeters. 4 years old, 109 centimeters. 6 years old, 115 centimeters. Then 122 for 7 years old, 128 for 8 years old, 133 for 9 years old, 138 for 10 years old, 143 for 11, 149 for 12, 156 for 13, 164 for 14, and 170 for 15 years old. And we'll just open this up. So this is what you should have. I'll try making it a little bit larger so you can see it there. So far so good. We have our growth chart. We've got the age and the height, and we have the height in centimeters. Now, another thing that we can do with a spreadsheet is we can do some subtracting between the columns. And what I'd really like to see here is how many centimeters did this human grow from one year to the next. So let's make a column that's called growth. And then we'll again put centimeters, but let's use the standard abbreviation, which is cm for centimeters. Okay, so tap down in cell C7, and we're going to see how many centimeters growth from 2 years old to 3 years old. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to tap into that cell, start a formula with the equal sign, tap on the number just to the left, which is B7, and then we're going to subtract B6. Now this is going to have the effect of taking 95 minus 97, which is pretty easy to do, of course, but what we are more interested in is how to copy that formula and paste it down the column again. And so we'll have a little practice with that. So press return, and you can close your keyboard. Let's tap on this and see if we can copy it again. Copy. And now we want to paste it into this whole range. Now notice how the screen looks right now. The copied cell has a dotted blue outline. The cells where we're pasting to have like a light blue shade on them, and the topmost one has a little box around it. So we're going to let go and tap and then paste. And there we go. Now we can confirm that the formula is in each cell by just tapping on whichever cell we want to see. Now here's some interesting, if we just examine our data a little bit, between the age 2 and 3 grew 8 centimeters, 7, 7, 6, 7, so that's pretty much the same, 6, 5, 5, 5, so a little bit slower growth between the ages 8 and 9, 9 and 10, 10 and 11, but then 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, 8 centimeters in the 13-year-old year, and then down to 6 centimeters.
Please excuse this interruption. Will all dance team members please report to the gym? All dance team members please report to the gym.
So what we're going to do next is we are going to make this into a scatter plot so we can kind of see what it looks like when we plot it out. Now, on the scatter plot, we could plot the growth column, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to plot time, which is age versus height. So this is the range that we're going to want to select, all the way from A5 down to B19. We're going to make this into our chart. Now, the chart control is under the plus sign. So we're going to find that and tap on it. And right now it shows a bar chart, which does not look bad, really. I mean, it kind of shows what we're doing. but there's actually a chart which is more commonly used when we're showing how something changes over time. And that chart is called a scatter chart. So tap on Type and scroll down until you find Scatter Chart and tap it like that. Another chart which might be used in this case would be a line chart, but as you can see, it's not going to plot it as XY coordinates if we use the line chart. If we use the column chart, it's not going to either. So it's interesting that the app has suggested using this particular kind of chart, but we're going to use the scatter chart. As you can see, there's a little key that says height in centimeters, so we know how tall it is. Along the bottom, let's take a look, we've got our titles. We have our left vertical axis title, which is height in centimeters, our horizontal axis title, which is age in years, and then chart title, we're going to want to change this. So let's change chart title to Human Growth Chart, and then tap Update the Title. So we've got our chart, it's looking good, and let's see if there's anything else we can improve. We could move the legend or just not have a legend. Left, top, bottom, inside. Let's just change it to none because we already know what the dots are. The dots are just plotting out the age. Now I noticed that our age starts at 2. It would be nice if we could start at like 0, and it would be nice if, notice how it starts at 75 centimeters. It'd be nice if we started at 0 there too. Unfortunately, we do not have a control of the axes where we start. We can do titles, we can do legend, we can do color, but we don't have control of where the axes start. This would be something you'd have to open up the same spreadsheet on a computer, again like in Chrome browser or Firefox browser, and then you'd have to make the adjustments there. Go ahead and press the check at the top left, and the chart is added to the page. If you tap on the chart and hold your finger near an edge, you should be able to squash the chart like this, and once you release it, it's going to resize so it's legible, easy to read. Go ahead and do that and then move the chart so that it is all the way to the top, but it's not covering up any of your data, and then make it as large as you can. If you grab the corner and you grab the edge, you should be able to make it about this big, and then it's fairly easy to read. This would be perfect for taking a screenshot and sharing with whoever might be interested in your data. All right, so there you have it. We used the app on Google Sheets to create a scatterplot. Scatterplots always have time, and the time is along the bottom of the chart, and then whatever is changing with time is along the side on the vertical axis. If you have a chance, you should make a brand new chart and use some data. Perhaps there is a suggestion for another part for an assignment, or you can just try out making a scatterplot on your own on a new sheet.